Welcome to This Explainer. If you're following AI, you know the space is moving at absolute lightning speed right now. Today, we're going to cut through all that noise using Anand Vemula's Tech Horizon framework. It's this incredibly powerful mental model that maps out exactly how we got here, and more importantly, where this technology is driving us next. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll be covering the Tech Horizon overview, deep learning fundamentals, powering generative AI, cutting-edge applications, and finally, the future landscape.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the Tech Horizon Overview, grasping the big picture.
You know, it's so easy to look at a machine spitting out photorealistic art and think, wow, that's just magic. But actually, behind every single seemingly magical output we interact with on a daily basis, there is pure, rigorous science and incredibly intricate mechanical structure. Moving right along to Section 2, Deep Learning Fundamentals, the Engine.
So, the Vemula's framework categorizes deep learning as the foundational engine. We know it uses artificial neural networks to process vast amounts of data, right? But the real key takeaway here is its capability. It isn't just memorizing inputs. No, this engine is structurally designed to actually learn how to learn.
And this engine basically runs in three sequential phases. First up is data ingestion. Think of this as the fuel, which, let's be honest, is often made up of our own massive digital footprints. Next, the neural networks handle pattern recognition. They're identifying these incredibly complex correlations that we humans simply couldn't process manually. And finally, output generation delivers the actual result.
Which brings us to Section 3, powering generative AI, building the vehicle.
Now, if deep learning is the engine, generative AI is the sleek vehicle built entirely around it. Generative AI stacks directly on top of those deep learning fundamentals we just talked about. It takes everything the engine learned during that pattern recognition phase to synthesize entirely new text, images, and audio.
And guys, this marks a massive shift on the tech horizon. I mean, for years, traditional AI basically acted as an analytical tool, right? It was finding answers, making predictions, maybe flagging anomalies in existing data. But generative AI flips the script completely. It operates as a super powerful creative tool to generate stuff that just hasn't ever existed before. Keeping Anand Vemula's framework in mind makes this dynamic relationship crystal clear. Deep learning is the engine, and generative AI is the vehicle. The sheer, raw horsepower of those deep learning fundamentals, those massive artificial neural networks churning through mountains of data, is directly harnessed to drive these generative apps. You literally cannot have the sleek, modern vehicle of generative AI without that heavy industrial engine of deep learning sitting right under the hood. And to put that into perspective, the sheer scale of this engine is absolutely staggering. Modern generative AI operates on billions, yes, billions of parameters. These are the tiny mathematical rules inside the neural network. It's exactly this massive, multi-billion parameter scale that allows AI to so seamlessly mimic the incredibly subtle complexities and nuances of human language and art. Okay, let's head into Section 4, cutting-edge applications, zooming back out. So, what does this all mean for us? Well, here are the tangible results of all that invisible horsepower. We're seeing text and code generation totally streamlining software development. We've got advanced image synthesis literally winning art competitions, plus audio and voice cloning revolutionizing media, scientific data modeling helping discover brand new materials, and real-time translation completely breaking down global language barriers. We've essentially zoomed all the way out from abstract neural networks to these amazing tangible tools sitting right on our desktops. This entire evolution showcases exactly why understanding those underlying mechanics is absolutely crucial. Because when you know that billions of deep learning parameters are what's actually powering your real-time translator, you start to grasp both the immense potential and the limitations of these tools. You stop just being a passive user and you become a truly informed navigator of the tech horizon. Finally, we arrive at Section 5, the future landscape. What's next? If we follow Vemula's trajectory, we can map out where all of this is heading. Back in the 2010s, we were firmly planted in the era of traditional AI analysis. Today, we're definitely behind the wheel of generative content creation. But tomorrow, we are moving fast towards seamless, autonomous generation. We're talking about systems that don't just sit around waiting for a prompt from us, but actively identify problems and autonomously generate the complex solutions needed to fix them. We've unpacked the science, we've looked under the hood at the deep learning engine, and we've seen the incredible vehicle it powers today. So, as we stand on this tech horizon with a much clearer understanding of the mechanics driving us forward, it really leaves us with one thrilling, maybe slightly daunting, but endlessly fascinating question to chew on. What will generative AI create next?